Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kwacha podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is a join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that.
Well, the recent trip that was made by the Republican president of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, to Tanzania to attend the inauguration ceremony of the recently re-elected president in Tanzania continues to receive backlash from different sections of society, and it's the opposition are simply saying is endorsing the killings that were happening in Tanzania post-election in violence, and then obviously a number of deaths that occurred during that period. And then obviously from the UPND and its supporters are simply saying, no, President Hakainde Hichilema was looking at the bigger picture in relation to the relationship between Zambia and Tanzania. Zambia cannot afford to have a strained relationship with Tanzania. In as much as whatever happened in internal politics, in the reality on the ground is that the president of Tanzania is the lady that was president before. So Zambia starting to have its own political opinions over an autonomous country becomes a little bit strenuous because it would cost us. As you may be aware, we are a landlocked country and most of our imports by sea come through Tanzania. So that relationship cannot be strained. Hence, him attending that's the argument that's coming from the UPND government and all those its supporters. And one of the people that's weighed in is Chief Etayari. He says, United Party for National Development, stop being apologetic. Hakainde Hichilema did a good thing to go to Tanzania, plus gave a good speech. So he's simply saying, hey, the UPND has no reason to try to justify itself or be apologetic about the actions of the president. What he did was the right call, as according to Chief Etayari there. And then he goes further to say, I blame those who sent young people on the streets of Tanzania. Just like Zambia, the opposition were not strong enough. So his argument to say that the opposition leaders that encouraged the young people in Tanzania to go on the streets and protest are the ones to blame. The reality is that they were not strong enough, just like the situation is in Zambia. The opposition isn't that strong. That's his argument. Anyway, we move on. In other news, Zuma Nzimba detained. This problem was created by Given Luwinda, but they will turn around and blame it on President Hakainde Hichilema. So as you may be aware, it should have been sometime last week, if not before. There was a back and forth between Zuma Nzimba, Dr. Zuma Nzimba, who used to be a political advisor for the late President Edgar Chagwa, and then Given Luwinda, which prompted Given Luwinda to sue Zuma Nzimba or report him to police. And later on, they reunited or reconciled. And Given Luwinda wrote to the police withdrawing his police submission. But obviously, his man was arrested sometime earlier on today. And here are the details. So yesterday, a former State House Special Assistant to President Zuma Nzimba was arrested and charged with cyber crimes and identity theft related to the offense of following complainant lodged in by Patriotic Front acting president Given Luwinda. It is essential to note that the criminal case, the state is primarily the prosecutor and the complainant is merely a witness. The decision to withdraw the case does not solely depend on the complainant's wishes. So they're simply stating, okay, fine, Given Luwinda has decided to withdraw that case submission that he had submitted to the court, to the police. But at this point, the police is an interested party also. So, in as much as the complainant may withdraw, the police or the state may decide to pursue the case further on. So, even if Luwinda wants to withdraw the matter, the police and court can still proceed with the case if they believe crime was being committed. So that's the situation there. And then they attached the letter that you see on the screen there that was written by Given Winder to the police, instructing them to say he had decided to withdraw that case. And then later on, within the same day, Zumani Zimba was released. He was being received by Given Winder himself, as you can see on screen there, and then also Miles Sampa, Material Member of Parliament, who were on hand to receive uh, the leader that was arrested earlier on. So, according to a post that was posted by Mao Sampa, he says, this afternoon, Councillor Chinyanda and myself submitted papers at Woodlands Police Station as sureties for Dr. Zumani Zimba to be granted police bond. He was released about 14:30 hours. This is the case of him and Given Winder, but which they reconciled and have since peacefully working together. They even traveled to South Africa together last week for some engagements. The police at Woodlands, where the case was opened, claimed they did not see the letter of withdrawal written by Given Winder and lawyer weeks back to address to the Inspector General of Police. They stated that the reasons they had arrested him, given Zwanzimba yesterday, Honorable Winder since formally advised them verbal and in process of completing their documentation to permanently close the case. Welcome back, Baba Zumani. That's one thing about Mausam. There are a number of things that you can criticize him for, but he's been a surety for a number of these Patriotic Front leaders when they have got court issues. If you remember, at some point, he was even a surety in one of the cases that Shimba Kambwili had when everyone else was not willing to be Shimba Kambwili's surety. Mao Sampa was one of those people that signed Shimba Kambwili's surety, which enabled him to get bond in one of the cases. And then when their relationship became strained, Mao Sampa decided to withdraw that surety. But over time, he's been a surety for a number of people. So that's one thing that can be credited to Mao Sampa. He comes through for people when it's not convenient for a number of people. He's a friend that can be utilized for such things. And then in other news, South African-based Patriotic Front candidate Wheeler Mudolo has paid a 200,000 Kwacha nomination fee and donated further 50,000 Kwacha to the former ruling party, Patriotic Front. So as you may be aware, the Patriotic Front has announced that say in the next 30 days, now it should be like 29 days or less, they are going to hold their general conference where they're going to elect their new president. Some of the attendees are going to be virtual and others are going to be in person. So one of the aspirants has paid the 200,000 nomination fee. In short, has paid 250 with a donation on top of that. And then someone in the comment section, Mdenda Smart says, Chavinga waiting for you to finish so that he can start. So he's simply saying that fight between Chavinga and this version of the Patriotic Front is still ongoing in court. So probably just waiting for those payments to be made. But they are not dumb enough to deposit that money in the Patriotic Front account. I'm sure they figured out a way of depositing that money elsewhere, so it's not going in the Patriotic Front official account, I assume, considering that there's still a fight for who's the legitimate leader of the Patriotic Front, including the entire sureties or signatories at Registrar of Societies. That debate or that court case continues. And then if Chief weighs in say if Finnish political parties are charging 200 pin for presidential candidate, Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, should charge 1 million kwacha. If you have the support of the people, 1 million kwacha is nothing. And I agree with him at this point. The bar for nomination fee or submission of candidates to participate in the general election as a presidential candidate cannot be less than what people are paying in the Patriotic Front, because I should think as of last elections, 2021, it should be like 100,000 kwacha to participate as a presidential candidate at national level. But if a party like Patriotic Front is charging 200,000 kwacha for individuals to participate to be party president, it's only right that at national level it's somewhere at 1 million kwacha. I agree with that. Raising money as a political candidate when people believe in you is the easiest thing you can do, and 1 million kwacha isn't that difficult to raise. If the people believe in you, that's what it is. So here is one thing I agree with Chief Fatali there. The amount of money required to be a presidential candidate should be raised. Yes, definitely at 1 million kwacha, even if more. Raising money when people believe in you is easy. So yeah, I agree with that. And then obviously the news is going all over the place. As an African-based Patriotic Front presidential candidate has paid obviously the same news there. Nomination fee. What is Ichaba just says there is still time to unite. For now, political groupings should keep on building. So that's Bino Mpundu, and he has been suspended from parliament for 30 days for his language in parliament. He has very colorful language in parliament. So again, he's been suspended, and he simply received the news say, "Thank you. I'm going to utilize the time to go on the ground and mobilize." So he says he's going to. We're already in political season, as you may be aware. We're only less than 2 months away from 2026. So he says he's going to get the opportunity to go and campaign. Pretty much, they've given him holiday to do his job on the ground. And then the mass newspaper says Hakainde Hichilema, symbol of shame, is turned Zambia from democracy to defender of to defender into embarrassment. Changala. So it's turned Zambia from democracy defender into embarrassment. So pretty much referring to obviously that situation in Tanzania where the president went to participate in the inauguration ceremony. And then Mr. Ishima is being hypocritical, playing double standards. That's Harika over there. And that's in the real times. News diggers do not reject the entire Bill 7, support the good proposal, Chief Mushia. So, and that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day.